Hi, I'm Rob from HopZine.com. Thanks for joining me for another video beer review, and big thanks to Jens, one of my subscribers, for sending over this bottle. And it is a bottle of Schneider Weisse's Meine Hopfenweisse. It is 8.2% hopped up wheat beer. On the back of the bottle it actually says in German, Weissenstark beer, which I don't know what that means. 8.2 volume, Doppelbock. I never realised it was Doppelbock. I thought it was just like a stronger Hefeweizen with a lot more hops. The origins of this beer, if I'm correct, I remember this a while back now. Both Garrett Oliver of Brooklyn Brewery and Hans-Peter Drexler got together and decided that they were both going to brew a hopped up wheat beer, hopped up strong wheat beer. They both went back to their respective breweries. Oh, excuse me, the big head on that. And Brooklyn brewed one called Brooklyner Weisse, I think they call it, which was their kind of interpretation of it. And then Schneider did theirs, which I think eventually ended up being this beer. I might be wrong on that. I'm sorry if I am, but as far as I'm aware, this is where the idea of this beer came from. Yeah, I can't see any reference to Brooklyn on here, but I mean that's years ago now. It used to have a different label. It had the Brooklyn logo on it and stuff, and yeah, just different kind of. That's one thing I actually miss about Schneider's beers. All this tap, the numbers tap. This is tap 5. I mean, to me that means nothing. But if you've got a unique label, then you can see it straight off. But it's just that little bit which changes now, and the number. Anyway, just a little bugbear of mine. Probably not going to get a load of Rothax with a big head, but yeah, I should expect quite a hazy, pale gold, big white head of like whipped up egg whites. So let's see if we can get any aroma out of this. Yeah, we certainly can. Lots of banana, fresh, like ripe banana. There's a yeasty wheat kind of element that reminds me of some of the beers I've had from Anchorage. So that, yeah, it's definitely, and it's a terrible thing to say, but it smells a bit like certain kind of cleaning products that you use in toilets. It's kind of slightly phenolic. But the additional thing that you get in this beer is a lovely grassy hop note, melon, lime juice, mild fresh pine, and the nice thing about this, the Hefeweizen kind of qualities are there, but they kind of dial back a bit, not as heavy on the cloves and the toffee, and the hops are really jumping out. I'm a fan of this beer, I've got to admit. It's been a while since I've had it, so let's dive in. Cheers, cheers Jens. First off, you'd never think it were 8.2%, but it does have it has much more presence and a more intense flavour than the average Schneider Weisse. Initially, lychee, there's a white grape note, definitely, grape juice. Grassy note there. Cardamom, coriander, definitely. I know it's a real typical thing to say. There's a slight kind of condensed milk note I get. It's nice and prickly on the tongue, but with quite a decent amount of body. I mean, for this kind of beer, you always expect a bit more because it's a wheat beer. The toffee's a little bit more muted, as is the banana's not really there much at all. It's this grassy hop, which with this kind of strange citrusy kind of element to it. It's like a really fresh citrus, but definitely those kind of more lemon and lime. Yeah, there's a slight kind of fresh mint, like from the actual herb. Yeah, and then it washes onto this kind of slightly milky kind of flavour. I think it's a lovely beer. Really drinkable for the ABV as well. I know this has been a big favourite in my local craft beer bar, the Sparrow, because it's got everything that a lot of people like, especially when they're into craft beer. Especially people who are a bit might not be as kind of adventurous. If you drink, personally, I got into kind of craft beer through drinking beers like this. It's good, and this kind of bridges that gap even better. It's got a bit more flavour. It's got a bit more alcohol. There's a lot more hops than the average wheat beer. Excuse me. Excuse me. Carbonation's good. Yeah, maybe a slight kind of kumquat in the back end there, but on a whole, big wheaty character, lovely fresh lemon and lime, coriander, cardamom, and that slightly kind of sweet condensed milk, what I'm going to say. So that is a lovely bottle of Schneider Weisse's Tap 5 Meine Hopfenweisse, 8.2% ABV. Big thanks to Jens for sending me this bottle of beer to review. I'm Rob from HopZine.com. See you next time. Cheers.